our fifth quiz test. Topic was breathing and exchange of gases. For upcoming quiz test, join my Telegram channel and WhatsApp group. The link is given in the description box. Now let's start. First question is vital capacity of lungs is. So we should know what is vital capacity at first. So what is vital capacity? The maximum volume of air a person can breathe in after a forced expiration or breathe out after a forced inspiration. So vital capacity VC equals to TV, that is tidal volume, plus IRV, that is inspiratory reserve volume, plus ERV, that is expiratory reserve volume. So this is the right choice. Okay, VC equals to IRV plus ERV plus TV. So we should know about TV, that is tidal volume. Volume of air inspired or expired during a normal respiration. Okay, and amount is 500 ml. Okay, and what is IRV? That is inspiratory reserve volume. That is the additional volume of air a person can inspire by a forcible inspiration. Okay, during normal inspiration or expiration, the volume of air is tidal volume. Okay, here this is by forcible inspiration, that we call inspiratory reserve volume, and amount is 2500 to 3000 ml. Okay, and what is ERV? That is expiratory reserve volume. Okay, so expiratory reserve volume is the additional volume of air a person can expire by a forcible expiration, just like IRV. Here expiration. Okay, in case of IRV there is inspiration, and the amount of ERV is 1000 to 1100 ml. Okay, so we should know also about RV. This is residual volume, that is the volume of air remaining even after a forcible expiration. Okay, and amount is 1100 to 1200 ml. This is we call residual volume. This is always present in the lungs. Okay, and what is FRC? That is functional residual capacity. This is the volume of air that will remain after normal expiration. So this is the difference between RV, that is residual volume, and functional residual capacity, is that in case of residual volume, that is the volume of air remaining after a forcible expiration, and here in case of FRC, here the volume of air that will remain after a normal expiration. Okay, here normal, and in case of residual volume, this is forcible expiration. Okay, not normal. This is the difference. And we should know about TLC, that is the total lung capacity. That is the total volume of air accommodated in the lungs at the end of a forced inspiration. And TLC equals to Vc, that is vital capacity, plus Rv, that is the residual volume. Okay, now I am writing various relations. Okay, here firstly, this is IC, inspiratory capacity, equals to TV plus IRV. Okay, same way EC equals to TV plus ERV, because it is EC, that is expiratory capacity. What is FRC? That is functional residual capacity. So here RV, that is residual volume, plus ERV. Okay. Now coming to VC, we already know TV plus IRV plus ERV. Okay. And coming to TLC, that is total lung capacity, that is VC, vital capacity, plus RV, residual volume. Okay, we should remind these 5 relations. Okay, now next, visiting high mountains may cause altitude sickness in men living in plain areas. Okay, prime cause is, so what is altitude sickness? Altitude sickness is an illness due to low atmospheric pressure at high altitudes. It is characterized by nausea, fatigue, and heart palpitation. So there is height in case of mountain, so there is low concentration of oxygen, so there must be decreased partial pressure of oxygen because low concentration of oxygen. So the answer is decreased partial pressure of oxygen. Okay, this is the prime cause of altitude sickness. So option C is right choice. Now next, chemosensitive area of respiratory center in medulla is affected by. So we should know at first about chemosensitive area. So respiratory rhythm center is a specialized center present in the medulla of the brain, which is primarily responsible for the regulation of respiration. Okay, a chemosensitive area situated adjacent to rhythm center. Okay, that means by the side of rhythm center, that is highly sensitive to changes in carbon dioxide, that is CO2, and hydrogen ion concentrations in blood. Okay, so this chemosensitive area that is situated by the side of respiratory rhythm center, this very area is highly sensitive to the changes of CO2 and hydrogen ion concentration in blood. Okay, increase in CO2 and hydrogen ion stimulate this center, which in turn stimulate the rhythm center to make necessary adjustments. So, chemosensitive area of respiratory center is in medulla is affected by excess. Firstly, excess. This oxygen O2, it has no significant role. Okay, so only CO2 and hydrogen plus ions. This will be the answer. Excess CO2 and hydrogen plus ions. Okay. Now 4. One hemoglobin carries how many atoms of oxygen? We know hemoglobin contains a protein portion called globin. Okay. And a pigment portion called heme. The heme portion consists of 4 atoms of iron. Each atom of iron capable of combining with a oxygen molecule. So 4 atoms, that means 4 oxygen molecules, that means 8 atoms. Here the question is atoms, not molecules. So this is not the answer. Answer is 8 because 4 molecules, so 8 atoms. Okay, so this is the right choice. Number 5. The exchange of gases in the alveoli of lungs takes place by. We know it is clearly mentioned in NCERT by simple diffusion. Okay, and the exchange of gases between the alveoli and blood in the lung is the result of difference in partial pressure. That is the main reason. Difference in partial pressure. Okay. So D is the right choice. Now, number 6. Besides RBC, blood plasma also carries O2 in solution. Obviously, we know that. Now, the question is the percentage is. So, we know about 97% of O2 is transported by RBC in blood. Okay. Remaining 3% of O2 is transported through plasma in dissolved state. Okay. So 3% nearly. So the answer is 2 to 3%. Okay. And if we talk about CO2 transport, then we can say nearly 20 to 25% of CO2 is transported by RBC and 70% by bicarbonate ion and 7% of CO2 is transported through plasma. Okay. Now 7. Which of the following statements is true about RBC in humans? They carry about 15 to 20% of CO2. It is wrong. I have already told that 20 to 25% of CO2 carried by RBC. Okay. They transport 99.5% of O2. This is also wrong. This will be 97%. Okay, this is wrong. They don't carry CO2 at all. This is also wrong. You know, 20 to 25%. None of the above. So this is the right choice. Because all are false. So none of the above is true. Okay. Now coming to Number 8. Which of the following factors is not favorable for the formation of oxyhemoglobin? Okay. So we should know that if there is high PO2, that means partial pressure of oxygen, low PCO2, lesser hydrogen ion concentration, and low temperature, these all factors are favorable for the formation of oxyhemoglobin. So high PO2 is okay, low temperature is okay, favorable, less H plus, this is also favorable. Here is high PCO2, this is wrong, because low PCO2, that means partial pressure of carbon dioxide, is favorable for the formation of oxyhemoglobin, not the high PCO2. Okay, because suppose if this is high, then H2CO3, that is carbonic acid, will be formed more, and it gives what? H plus and HCO3 minus, that is bicarbonate ion, and this H plus will be more, so here less is favorable, so high will not be favorable because it gives more H plus and it will decrease the pH of the blood. More H plus means pH will be decreased. Okay, so this is the right choice. High PCO2 is not favorable, okay, for the formation of oxyhemoglobin. Now number 9. In the tissue, high concentrations of carbon dioxide. Now options: increases the affinity of Hb to both oxygen and hydrogen. This is totally wrong. Okay. Now explanation. Okay. Increases in the CO2 content of the blood decreases the pH of blood. I've already told, because more H plus ion will be produced and pH will be less. Okay. This decreases the affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin because of high content of CO2. Okay, that is high partial pressure of CO2 also. So deoxygenated hemoglobin binds H plus ions more actively because here affinity of O2 with hemoglobin is decreased. So deoxygenated hemoglobin will be formed that binds H plus ions more actively, and it facilitates gaseous exchange because more O2 is released in the tissue where amount of CO2 is more. So here in the tissue amount of CO2 is more, so deoxygenated Hb binds H plus ions more actively. Okay, and it will form CO2 by reacting with bicarbonate ion, okay, by formation of carbonic acid, and after formation of carbonic acid it will give H plus and H3 minus. Okay, and by this way CO2 will be transported to the lungs. Okay, so high concentrations of carbon dioxide decreases the affinity of hemoglobin to oxygen, okay, but increases its affinity to hydrogen, okay, because deoxygenated hemoglobin will take H plus ions. So this is the right choice. Because of more CO2 content, decreases of affinity of Hb to oxygen will occur. Okay, affinity of Hb to oxygen will be decreased and it will take H plus ions. Okay, so this is the right choice. Now 10. The enzyme that increases the reaction rate between CO2 and H2O in RBC is, we all know the enzyme is carbonic anhydrase. Okay, so this is the question. So enzyme is carbonic anhydrase. We all know the reactions. Okay, in NCERT it is clearly given. Okay, now I am writing the reaction. Okay, so CO2 plus H2O, this is reversible reaction. Okay, here the enzyme carbonic anhydrase. Okay, formation of carbonic acid, and it will also dissociates. Okay, enzyme is same, carbonic anhydrase. Okay, it will give bicarbonate ion plus H plus ions. Okay, so these reactions are reversible. Okay, and the enzyme is carbonic anhydrase. Okay, clear? Now 11. The urge to inhale in humans results from, we know excess CO2 mainly stimulate the respiratory center and increases inspiratory and expiratory signals to the respiratory muscles. So rising PCO2 will be the answer, because here oxygen is not significant. Okay, all we know that the role of oxygen in the regulation of respiratory rhythm is quite insignificant. It is written in the NCERT. Okay, so rising partial pressure of CO2. Okay, this is the right choice. Now 12. Haldane effect plays more important role in promoting CO2 transport than that of Bohr's effect in promoting oxygen transport. Because, so what is Haldane effect? We should know at first. The lower PO2 and the hemoglobin saturation with O2, the more CO2 that can be carried in blood. This phenomenon is called as Haldane effect. Okay, so the right choice is oxyhemoglobin is a stronger acid which donates H plus ion, which in turn displaces CO2 from blood. Okay, this is the mechanism. So the right choice is A. Because we know in pulmonary circulation, uptake of O2 facilitates the release of CO2. Okay, as hemoglobin becomes saturated with oxygen, the hydrogen ions released and combine with bicarbonate ion, helping to unload CO2 from the pulmonary blood. Okay. So the answer is A. Now next page. Okay. Number 13. The toxic effect of carbon monoxide is due to its greater affinity for hemoglobin as compared to oxygen, approximately by, you know, the answer is 200 times. Okay. So now next. Chloride shift occurs in response to. So we should know about chloride shift. That is also called Hamburger effect. That describes movement of chloride ion into red blood cells, that is RBC, and bicarbonate ion is exported from the RBC in exchange for chloride ion. Okay. So what is the phenomenon? I can draw a diagram. Okay. Suppose this is RBC. Okay. So this is plasma. Okay. Outside. So here what happens? This is RBC. Okay. So now CO2 diffuses into RBC, that is CO2. Okay. Reacting with water and forms, you know, by the enzyme carbonic anhydrase H2CO3. Okay. And this H2CO3 will give H plus HCO3 minus. Okay. And this HCO3 minus will be out. Okay. So what will come? Cl minus will come. Okay. Actually, for balancing pH, it happens. Okay. To maintain the balance of ions. Okay. So this is we call chloride shift, that is coming from blood to RBC. Okay. And bicarbonate ion, that is going to outside from RBC. Okay. So this is the chloride shift. So what will be the answer? Chloride shift occurs in response to bicarbonate ion. Okay. This is the right choice. Now 15. Which one of the following is the incorrect statement for respiration in humans? Cigarette smoking may lead to inflammation of bronchi. This is right. Okay, we know cigarette smoking causes emphysema. Okay. And in case of emphysema, alveoli wall damaged. Okay. So respiratory surface will be decreased. Okay. So cigarette smoking may also lead to inflammation of bronchi. Now B. Neural signals from pneumotaxic center in medulla. This is wrong. In pons region, not in medulla region, because you know that in medulla there is respiratory rhythm center. Okay, so this is the wrong. So this is incorrect. B. C. Worker in grinding and stone breaking industries may suffer from lung fibrosis. This is also right. Okay, what is fibrosis? That is the proliferation of fibrous tissue, and this will damage the lungs. Okay, so this is not. So B, this is incorrect. This is the right choice. Now 16. Which of the following statements is or are correct? During inspiration, external intercostal muscle and diaphragm contract. This is okay. This is right. Cyanosis means collapse of alveoli. This is wrong. This is in case of emphysema. And cyanosis means the bluish coloration of skin because of low oxygen content in blood. Okay. Coryza is caused by human coronavirus. This is totally wrong. Coryza, that means common cold. So coryza or common cold is caused by rhinovirus. And we all know about coronavirus. It causes pneumonia, bronchitis, SARS, that is severe acute respiratory syndrome also. Okay. So this is also wrong. And apnea is normal breathing. This is right. Apnea is normal breathing. So 2 and 3 correct. Also this is wrong. So 1 and 4. Okay. These are correct. This is the right choice. Now 17. In which of the following the dead space is highest? So what is dead space? Dead space is the volume of air which is inhaled but do not take part in gaseous exchange, and it is highest in case of old man. Okay, not will be young. Okay, this is in case of old man. Dead space is highest. Okay. Now 18. During expiration, the diaphragm becomes dome shaped. Okay, that is convex in shape. This like, okay. And here is thoracic cavity. This is diaphragm. Okay. So it will decreases the volume of thoracic cavity and expiration occurs. Okay. So dome shaped diaphragm. Okay. During expiration. This is the right choice. Now 19. Amount of ERV is, we know ERV means expiratory reserve volume, that is near about 1000 ml. Okay, we know actual value of ERV is 1000 to 1100 ml. Okay, I have told it earlier. Okay, so this is the right choice here. Now 20. Partial pressure of oxygen in deoxygenated blood in millimeter mercury. Okay, you know it is clearly given in NCERT that partial pressure of oxygen in deoxygenated blood is 40 millimeter mercury. Okay, this is the right choice. 21. FRC is, I have already told the relations. Okay, you know FRC is residual volume plus ERV, that is expiratory reserve volume. Okay, that is the FRC. Clear? Now 22. When temperature decreases, oxyhemoglobin curve becomes. So we should draw the curve. So this is the curve and this is the sigmoid curve. Along y-axis, this. So this is percentage saturation of hemoglobin with oxygen. Okay. And this is partial pressure of oxygen. Okay. PO2 along x-axis. So this is sigmoid curve. Okay. So now I am drawing okay. So here this will same. Okay. So now the question is, when temperature decreases, we already know that temperature decreases, that means it is favorable for the formation of oxyhemoglobin. Okay. So oxyhemoglobin curve becomes more steep. Okay. What is the meaning by more steep? Now lower temperature is favorable for the formation of oxyhemoglobin. Okay. So from the curve, if this is same level, okay, this is also same level. Okay. For the same percentage saturation of hemoglobin, okay, with oxygen, here value of PO2 is more. Okay, this is more, and here value of PO2 is less. That means here affinity of oxygen, okay, towards hemoglobin is more. That's why less PO2 here. Okay, here is more because here affinity is less for the same percentage saturation of hemoglobin with oxygen. Okay, so this curve is more steep. Okay, because why? Because of low PO2, the same percentage saturation of hemoglobin. Okay, so here the curve, this is number 1, this is number 2. Here the curve has shifted towards left and make it more steep. Okay, when the curve will shift towards left, it must favor the formation of oxyhemoglobin, and the factors are low temperature, low H plus ion concentration, and high PO2 and low PCO2. Okay, so here affinity is more. Okay, so this curve will be more steep. Okay, becomes more steep because it favors the formation of oxyhemoglobin at lower temperature. Okay, now 23. Identify occupational respiratory disorders among these. SARS, this is caused by virus, okay. That is severe acute respiratory syndrome. Silicosis, this is occupational respiratory disorder, okay. Asbestosis, this is also, and this is wrong, this is caused by rhinovirus, we know. So option 2 and 3 will be the right choice. That is the occupational respiratory disorders, okay. Silicosis and asbestosis. So 24. Partial pressure of CO2 in oxygenated blood is. It is clearly given in NCERT that partial pressure of CO2 in oxygenated blood is 40 millimeter of mercury. This is the right choice, okay. Now 25. Carbon dioxide is transported in blood in the form of bicarbonate, and it is about 70%, okay. This is the right choice. Thank you.